evening and happy Thursday. Well, it's really not a good Thursday for me. Today is my niece's anniversary of her death, that her husband killed her. Then turned around and committed suicide himself. Uh, she been dead for 6 years. She was my best friend, and I I forgot what today was. I woke up this morning at 5 o'clock, feeling sick as a dog. Couldn't couldn't go back to sleep. I felt like I had to throw up, and so I laid there in the bed, listened to the storm and thunderstorm and stuff. Then about 6 o'clock, I jumped back up and ran to the bathroom again, feeling sick. And I was wondering why I was feeling sick this morning. And then until I talked to my sister and I saw what day it was, because I canceled my doctor's appointment. I had to go to my bio doctor today, but it was storming so bad, and I didn't want to drive in the rain because the folks in Memphis drive stupid as I don't know what. And so I canceled the appointment and I rescheduled it tomorrow. And she told me today was the 25th, and I'm like, oh my goodness, today is my niece's birthday. Not my niece's birthday, her anniversary of her death. And how she died, why her husband killed her, is because she didn't want him back. Every time they broke up and stuff, she would lose weight and stuff to get her husband attention and to get him back. And she did it a couple of times, and he used to cheat on her. And this time she was tired, and she was tired of him cheating on her. And I was so glad that she left him. We all were, because he was a no good dog. And I was tired of him treating her like a piece of crap. And she had lost the weight again this time and everything. And he thought that she was going to take him back this time. But this time, she didn't take him back. She said enough is enough, because he cheated on her and he had another baby. And he named it after him, Junior. And she moved on with her life. He kept on trying to take her back, but she wouldn't take him back. And then she had met her somebody else on down the line, and she had started dating, and he didn't like that and stuff. So he started stalking her and everything, and putting sugar in her gas tank. He pulled a gun on her, and my other niece, her sister, and I didn't know all of this. Her sister was keeping the secret from all of us, and she was begging her to not to tell no one and not to call the police and stuff. And she was taken up for my Toya, and she was a beautiful girl. And so he just kept on stalking her and asking everybody and threatening them to where she's at and stuff. And nobody wouldn't tell them where she was at. So he started following her. And then one day on Facebook, I guess he snapped. And he had plotted this and everything to kill her. So the day before he killed her, he spent that day with all his kids over his mom's house. He had got all of them and spent that day together. And then he took her out for lunch. They had took a picture, and you could see it in her eyes. She was terrified. She was really terrified and stuff. And I saw it on Facebook, and I'm like, Lord, what is wrong with how she looked and stuff? And I told her sister, and Rika still didn't tell me nothing about all this stuff was going on. She told her sister Rika if anything happened to her, take care of Renaya, because she had a funny feeling that her husband was gonna do something to her, because he didn't threaten and threaten and threaten and threaten her. So the morning, cause she worked at Kroger's, the morning, cause her and her sister Rika always rode together, to work. So he waited on her in the Kroger's parking lot. So when he saw, he knew what time she go to work and what time she make it there. And she always got a parking spot that he knew about, the parking spot which she always parked at. So he waited in his truck. And when she parked that car, he planned on killing both of them that day. Her sister and her. That was the plan. But Rika didn't go to work that morning. She went somewhere with one of her friends. Toya was in the car by herself. He rammed, soon as she parked, he rammed his truck to her car and hit it and blocked her in. So she clamped out the others on the passenger side to get out the car. She was running to get into Kroger's, but she tripped and fell. And he was running behind her, and he stood over top of her, straddled his leg over top of her and stuff. And he had the gun pointed at her. And she begged and pleaded for her life. She told him to think about the kids, think about our family. But he didn't give a damn. He did not give a damn about her or the kids. And he shot her, I think, 4 or 5 times. And the folks in Kroger's heard the shooting. And they came out and they saw who it was and everything. So they ran in there and called the police. And everybody started calling us. My niece Keisha called me about, I think it was about 8 o'clock. Danny had went to work. And the news folks had came up there. My niece Keisha had called me. And she told me that Smiley had killed Toya. I said, girl, stop lying. I said, stop lying, Keisha. You are lying. She said, Sonia, I'm telling you the truth. Toya is dead. And I just stood there in shock. She said, if you don't believe me, turn on the TV. And it was all over the news and stuff. So I hung up with her and I called Danny and told Danny what had happened. And I told him, can you please come home? And he rushed and came home and stuff. And her mama, how she found out, she was looking at the news because she always watching the news, and she saw that her daughter was dead. Her husband killed her. So when Danny came home, we got dressed, and I was already dressed, and we went up to Kroger's. Police was everywhere. They said my nephew was so mad. They wanted to beat the hell out of Smiley. And he begged the police to shoot him. But the police wouldn't shoot him. They just held the guns up to him, aiming at him. So he turned the gun to his head and shot himself in the head. And everything. That was my best friend. She wasn't like a niece to me. She was like a sister. Me, her, and her other sister Rika. We was like the 3 musketeers. We always did stuff together. And for this day to come back and hunt me again, and I have to think about this stuff all over again, is very painful. Because when I went to her funeral, I had a nervous breakdown. I did not want to go up in there. I begged and pleaded Danny to not go up in there. But he said I needed to see her and say goodbye to her. As I got closer and closer to her coffin in the church, I freaked out and had a panic attack. And he had to sit me down because it looked like I felt like my legs was getting weak and I couldn't hardly move. And I told him, I can't go. I cannot go up there. I can see the tip of her head out of the coffin. And I told him, I can't do it. So he sat me down and everything. My boys, they didn't want to go. And they didn't want to see her like that. And so we sat down in the back of the church and stuff. I was shaking and everything. And I thought my mama's funeral was the worstest, but hers was the worstest. So when somebody die, I cannot go to their funeral and stuff. It hurts. And it just really hurts. And stuff. So I just had a bad day today, and I just want to get on here and talk about it and stuff. Because it was just a messed up day for me. My nurse came over today, and I had told her about what was going on and stuff. And when she checked my blood pressure and stuff, it was sky high. It scared the daylights out of her. It scared me. Because the bottom number was 101. And she asked me, have I took my medicine yet? Because I have high blood pressure too. And she asked me, have I took my high blood pressure pills? I told her, no, not yet, because I had just got through eating. She said, well, Sonia, take your medicine. So I took my medicine. And we sat there and we talked for a little while about something that was calm and relaxing. And she checked my pressure again. And it was still high a little bit, but it was a little better than 101. So she told me to go in there and relax and don't clean up or nothing, because I was finna get ready and clean up and stuff. But I laid down and relaxed, and before I did this video, I checked my blood pressure again. It was a little better and stuff. It was 122 over 75. So it was much better. And I've been trying to relax today, and every time I get on Facebook, I saw her children posting things on there about her and stuff, and I just had to get off again. But I just be glad when this day is over with, because I'm tired and I'm sleepy, but I'm not ready to go to bed yet. And I'm going to stay up a little longer, and then up to about 10 o'clock, and then I go to sleep. I try to rest. But I just had to get on here and talk and stuff. I thought this would have made me feel a little better, but it didn't. So I'm finna get ready to get off of here, and I will talk to you guys later. So don't forget to comment, subscribe, and share my videos, and click the notification bell so you can know when I do another video. And I will talk to y'all guys later. Bye.